Some of the smartest people you know will never become wealthy. It is a harsh reality that defies everything we are told about success. A high IQ might command respect in a lecture hall or a boardroom, but it carries zero weight within the cold mechanics of a bank account. High intelligence can impress your peers, yet it provides no guarantee of financial power. From the moment we enter the school system, we are fed a specific, singular promise. We are told to perform well academically, to outthink the competition, and to graduate at the top of the class. The unspoken agreement is that financial abundance will follow as a natural byproduct of being the smartest person in the room. We treat intelligence as a golden ticket, assuming that if the mind is sharp enough, the money will handle itself. But ground that theory in modern reality. Walk through the high-end luxury hubs of New York or the tech corridors of Austin, and you will find an unsettling anomaly. You will encounter individuals armed with PhDs, advanced technical certifications, and layers of potential who remain perpetually broke. They have the knowledge, they have the talent, yet they are financially weak, living paycheck to paycheck while watching less brilliant peers build massive empires. This tension exists because the market operates on a different frequency than the classroom. Intelligence is a trait used to win arguments and solve puzzles, but the market rewards specific behaviors: execution, risk tolerance, and consistency. Being right is an intellectual victory. Being wealthy is a behavioral one. You are about to see the anatomy of this failure. We are going to expose the paradox of why highly intelligent people are often their own worst enemies. The very mental traits that make someone a genius are the same hidden mechanisms quietly keeping them financially stuck. An intelligent mind is naturally wired for optimization. It constantly scans for variables, calculates every possible risk, and attempts to solve problems from every conceivable angle before making a move. In a controlled academic setting, this depth of analysis is a strength, but in the world of wealth building, this wiring creates permanent paralysis. Think of a brilliant strategist in a city like Chicago. They might spend 3 years refining a business model, obsessing over market demographics, and waiting for the perfect economic climate to launch. Their brain demands a certainty that the real world never provides. They are so busy calculating the cost of failure that they never actually pay the price of admission. Compare that to a disciplined individual in Dallas who simply starts. They push a messy, imperfect product into the market on a Monday morning. They deal with the real-world friction, make mistakes, lose a little money, and adjust on the fly. While the genius is still drawing diagrams, the practitioner is already generating cash flow through trial and error. This creates the action gap. Intelligent people confuse potential with progress. They mistake planning for building, convincing themselves they've won. But absorbing data gives the illusion of success without risk. Knowledge yields zero return without the friction of the real world. You cannot analyze your way into a fortune. You have to execute your way there. The data is clear. Rough, aggressive execution will always violently outperform theoretical perfection. There is a psychological side effect to being the smart kid for 20 years. A lifetime of intellectual validation breeds a massive, quiet ego. When your identity is built on being right, admitting a mistake becomes an existential threat. The free market is the ultimate ego shredder. It is chaotic, unpredictable, and entirely indifferent to your GPA or your pedigree. It humbles the brilliant and the average alike. But the average person is often more willing to accept the humbling and learn from it. Highly intelligent individuals frequently lack the emotional control needed to survive financial volatility. To them, a lost investment feels like an attack on their core identity. They cannot separate their self-worth from their net worth, which makes them emotionally fragile when the numbers go red. They succumb to the too smart to fail bias. They will stubbornly hold on to a losing stock or a dying business model because their ego refuses to admit they were wrong. They would rather go broke being right than get rich by admitting they were wrong and pivoting. False confidence creates a wall that blocks financial growth. Building wealth requires the humility to be a student of the market, acknowledging that emotional control and psychological resilience are far more valuable than raw IQ. High-level minds are addicted to novelty. They crave complex problem-solving and constant intellectual stimulation. Their brains seek out the new, the intricate, and the challenging. The paradox is that sustainable wealth building is incredibly boring. Disciplined budgeting, index fund investing, and managing a simple, profitable operation are repetitive, unexciting tasks. There is no intellectual high in checking a spreadsheet every month to see your savings grow by a predictable margin. Smart people sabotage their success simply because they get bored. They abandon proven, simple habits for complex, high-risk strategies just to keep entertained. They chase sophisticated trends, losing everything because they cannot handle the monotony of a winning formula. Look at the heavy hitters in the Los Angeles financial district. Their status is not maintained through daily flashes of genius. It is maintained through routine and strict behavioral systems. They have the discipline to repeat the same boring, high-value actions day after day, year after year, until the compounding effect becomes unstoppable. Vast financial knowledge serves no purpose if you lack the discipline to endure the boredom of a winning strategy. Wealth is built through repetition, not just through insight. The market is the great equalizer. It does not care about your vocabulary, your credentials, or the potential you've spent years talking about. It only cares about the value you actually provide and the risks you are willing to manage. The market ignores intellectual capacity, rewarding only the strict, undeniable output of a person's behavior over time. You are not paid for how smart you are. You are paid for what you do with that intelligence. If you are smart but broke, it is time for a radical change. You must immediately decouple your ego from your intelligence. Stop waiting for your brain to solve a problem that only action can fix. Stop relying on your potential to save you from weak habits and inconsistent behavior. Intelligence is the engine that provides the power, but disciplined behavior is the steering wheel that determines the destination. Without the wheel, the engine just burns fuel in place. Like, subscribe, and comment below if you're done confusing intelligence with progress. It's time to stop thinking and start building.